tries, 229 metres, 5 clean breaks, and 10 tackle busts. That's a pretty good stat line, and I know most of them want an interception, but it's pretty good to me. Elliot Keir with 108 metres, consistent as always. For the losing Wakefield side, Ryan Hampshire with a try assist, 154 metres, 3 clean breaks. Mason Caton Brown, Solicitor's Firm, 2 tries at 130 metres, 7 tackle busts. The bully himself, David Fafita, 2 tries, 45 tackles, 15 marker tackles, 124 metres. That's quite surprising, but that's good.
Going both ways for Fafita there.
Absolutely. And making his debut, Junior Sow with 124 metres and 2 offloads.
We had some fan views on this one, starting with Josh. Fuck. Did you do this on purpose, Wakey? Haha, nice to make more nervous for Magic against London.
Tom Andrews says, London the team with the attack of Warrington but the defence of KR. Blimey, that Abdul looks useful.
Yeah. Paul Chamberlain said, a proper curate's egg of a game. Think England versus Tonga with knobs on. London applies strong defence and eviscerating attack to storm to a 42-10 lead after 73 minutes, only to concede 4 converted tries in 5 minutes. Still, a win's a win, and all aspects were much improved. Leeds at Magic is a huge game. Ben Reynolds has the worst haircut in Superleague.
That's a big call. And well done to Paul for the use of the word eviscerating. That's the word of the week. Eviscerating. I've only seen the highlights of this, and to be fair, the highlights did go on for a while.
Just to fit everything
with the tries. My first note about this game is that Paula had a great day, and she certainly did. It seemed like every highlight I saw, the number 6 was having a good game.
Do you know who she reminded me of in this one?
Go on.
It was Danny Maguire. It was a Danny Maguire support running. It was if you watch the classic Danny Maguire highlight reel, he's always more than half his tries. He's snaffling off after someone else's work.
Yes.
And that's exactly what he was doing. He was in exactly the right place, picked out the ball himself, or shipped it on to someone who was in a better position, but always running that perfect support line, watching, knowing exactly where defenders were, and sniping. And that was exactly the same for his performance on Saturday.
Yeah, and it's great that he's obviously recovered from his assault by a whole country when he was hit by Samoa. But yeah, it was an interesting game. Again, who needs defence? The one thing I would say in terms of the Wakefield performance, again, I've just seen the highlights, but it seemed to me that the primary kind of result or the primary individuals responsible for the comeback were Fafita over the middle and Hampshire. They seemed to be the 2 players who were really influential in making the score respectable, if nothing else. But Wakefield really don't like going to London, do they? They've properly done as Josh said, that they're not doing it other teams a favour, are they? Because London have won 4, and 2 of them have been against a disappointing Wakefield side when they've gone to the capital. So they've got to be disappointed with it ultimately. And there's obviously some garbage time scores there, and I saw some worry from a few London fans on Twitter as they thought they might let Wakefield back into it. But ultimately, if you score 42 and get caught, it's an exceptional day, and it didn't quite happen for them.
Yeah, it's just they just done enough by getting those extra scores on. 1 second, I thought the Kieran Dixon break in early on the interception was that early on in the second half. That was absolutely fantastic. We just picked it out and belted.
Yes, it was second half. Yes,
that was absolutely superb, and again one for his highlight reel. He's got 4 or 5 of those now this season, and he's one of the inform wingers in that side.
Yeah, there's few players who can cover the ground like Dixon can. So yeah, fully deserved of that. And yeah, obviously he's partnered on the other side, Reece Williams. He's been very good this year, hasn't he? And yeah, showed up again in this one. So yeah, it's a yeah. Well, if they could play Wakefield every week, they'd do pretty well. But yeah, as we've said it before, next week's game at Magic is absolutely massive. If London can see their way to a win, it will really get a few teams worried.
And I think don't want to spoil too much of what we're going to talk about, but I think Danny Ward and his coaching style, he's very much a motivator who can get people up for short-term things, like shown by the way they used their trips to Toronto last year to really bond as a squad and then ultimately be successful on the third attempt. So it wouldn't surprise me if he is able to motivate them, especially against Leeds where he's going to have that extra fire himself. So it really wouldn't surprise me if they do it just by him able to push that young team over the line by getting them up, and because he knows them all so well, getting them up for that one game is something I think he could well do. And I think the atmosphere, it's only going to help London and add pressure to Leeds.
Yeah, there's a layer of expectation on Leeds, isn't there? And there's a level of fan desperation, which actually can be counterproductive if you're feeling under pressure and you're not playing well, which obviously applies to them. The pressure from fans can be a negative rather than them offering you a level of support. So yeah, we'll see what transpires next week. But yeah, in terms of individual players, there's a lot to pick from there. I mean, how can you ignore somebody who gets 4 tries? Yeah, I'll go with Abdul player, but I could have easily gone for Dixon.
Yeah, I think I could have gone for could have made a case for any of that backline, but particularly I think Abdul, just that sniping run and the way he was able to pick up the ball. I think my only shame about this game is that more people weren't able to watch it in the flesh, because I think partly because of the timing decision. So because you had the international and the Scholars game over the way, it meant that no one was able to go to it, and there were lots of people who I've seen at lots of London Broncos games who were at the Scholars. So if they're competing with themselves at the same time, it's just madness to have that game at the same time. What they should have,
well, it is, isn't it?
What they could have done quite comfortably is if they put the Broncos game back till 7:00, like they did for a couple last year, and then put a bus on in between for the hardcore nerds that wanted to do all 3 games in one day. Or even
maybe so.
Yeah, or even if you'd had the game at the same venue, even. But
is that Wakefield have already played down this year, which we've talked about. So it's this thing about repeat fixtures, isn't it? If you've made the trip down at the beginning of the year, how motivated are you to come back? 3 months later to kind of repeat the fixture. So you're limiting your away fans as much as you're limiting your home fans as well. So yeah, not helpful.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a thing in that will adversely affect London as well, because they are that further trip, and it's one that people are more likely to make a weekend of, but they'll only do it once.
Yes, so of course.
They won't do it twice in 1 year, because it would just be particularly madness and particularly costly, because it's ridiculous to get to London from anywhere. So I think it's London it's actually going to adversely affect by doing that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Yeah, definitely. Should we move on to another away?
Yeah. So on Saturday afternoon, it was Catalan Dragons taking on the Wigan Warriors in the Nou Camp, or the Camp Nou, depending on your sensibility. And it finished Catalan 33, Wigan 16, having been 8-6 at half time, in front of a Superleague record 31,555 people, with Premier referee Ben Fayler in the middle. In terms of the statistics, Samasoni Langi for the winning Catalan Dragons side picked up 171 metres and made 3 offloads. David Mead picked up 2 tries and ran for 136 metres with 3 clean breaks, 5 tackle busts and 3 offloads. Braden Willie-Army running for 135 metres and making 5 tackle busts, and Lewis Tierney running down that wing for 119 metres. For the losing Wigan side, only 2 players tripped our stat lines, and that was Dan Sargentson, who picked up 1 try assist with 108 metres, and Willie Isa, who made 41 tackles, so just nudging him over the tackle line there. We had some fan views on this one, including from our newest fan.
Yes. So Mark certainly had fun this weekend. It would appear, certainly off the pitch anyway. It was supposed to be the Wigan fans who were on holiday, not the Wigan players. Garbage from Wigan. Credit to Catalan. They played blindly with what you had out there, but you don't need to be very creative when your opponent put on a plate for you. Shit performance, great occasion, special weekend.
Yeah, Tom Andrews says, so this was the game that most fans have shown up to in Super League history. Shame only one team really showed up. Don't think Wigan are safe this year yet. Couple more losses on the spin and they could be drawn into the fun house with us, London and Leeds. As long as Melanie and Martina are there, it'll all be fine. New idea, next year each team gets a round in a new stadium in the UK and Europe, staggered through the season, so each plays one tour game. That round replaces Magic.
Interesting idea.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it.
Josh again got
on the road, and that would be quite a good way to spread the game. Is to spread it out and perhaps have it as that counterpoint to Magic. Could be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
If we're stuck with Luke, why not take one of those? But anyway, yeah. Joe, I'll read. Josh has got in touch again multiple times.
Yeah,
it's the occasion, lots of emotion.
Right, okay. What can I do to get that better?
See, I can. I've had this. It seems to into the actual recording quality.
Hang on, I didn't quite get that. Oh, seems to come off. So let's try. Let's try again.
Okay, so I'll start again with Josh's review. It says, it seemed like a final to me. Crowd, big occasion, lots of emotion. Catalan impressed me with strong defence and throwing the ball around. Was it that Wigan... look at Warrington, who lost to, but Catalan looked like they wanted to win, and did Catalan players want to play, they can, instead of just dirtying a game, they're a great team and can go all the way. What a place to score tries and make a record attendance. Shows what's outside the UK market. If I wasn't working, I'd have gone. Shame that Wigan are the first team to lose a rugby match at the new camp. Poor Wigan, not a record you want in a historic moment.
Yes, indeed. Jen K got in touch to say, don't think we should overreact to this defeat. We're a bit overawed by the occasion, and ultimately it was Catalan's big day. On to Magic.
Yeah. Pauline got in touch, says, Catalan just too good for Wigan, 31,000. Credit to Catalan and Wigan.
Yeah, Alan Walker, our resident Catalonian, says, scrappy first half, and then Wigan lost their rag. Failer loved them in the first half, then turned like a lover spurned. O'Loughlin can put the lube away. Anyway, RL sells 900 tickets at 150 to 180 euros. Never mind prawn butties, we got the lot. 31,555 happy punters, and the beach is open tomorrow.
The beach is always open, surely. Malcar Matios says, a camper, no, a karma, it ain't big enough. Too short for full satisfaction. Heard that before.
Yeah, name of a recording I had once. Paul Chamberlain said, would like to watch, but Super League decided to schedule other league games on the same day at the same time. Yeah, we don't have to compete with ourselves sometimes in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was watching the real match at this time. I was watching Swinton against Rochdale. That was the real game. But no, I have caught up with it subsequently. What did you think?